Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dice Tower. My name is Chris Yee.
I'm Joy Evans.
Today we're taking a look at 52 Duels. This is a print and play game.
You can do both.
Yes, you have to buy it, then you print it, then you play it.
3 things.
We actually did all 3 of those things.
What?
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. You have a bit of a reputation as a buyer.
And printer. I do 2 of them. No, it's just buying.
It's just a buyer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So this comes from Postmark Games, designed by Matthew Dunstan. And this is a bit of a follow-up to a solo dungeon crawler they did with this art aesthetic called 52 Realms.
Right.
We reviewed that together.
Yep.
So when this was announced, I was really excited about it. It is a bring-your-own deck of cards type of a game.
We happen to have one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be honest. Mm-hmm. How many decks of cards do you have lying around in your house?
Far too many.
Far too many. Now, you are a magician.
I am.
So even factoring that in, far too many?
Far too many.
Far too many. Let me show you how this game plays, and then we'll give you our thoughts. Here's 52 Duels set up on the table. You'll give each player a printed out character sheet. You will also give each player a deck of playing cards, remove the 2 jokers, and then shuffle up the deck and place it here into the draw deck area. Each player draws 5 cards, and now you're ready to go. The draw deck is going to represent the health of your character. The discard pile is where cards will go after they're spent for actions. And when the draw deck runs out, you'll take all the cards from your discard, shuffle them up, and place it back to form your draw deck. However, you'll take wounds over the course of the game as you get hit by your dueling opponent. So you'll take cards and place them into the wounds area where they're not so easy to get back. If you are ever forced to take a wound, but you have no cards left in your draw deck, you will check to see if you have a discard pile, shuffle those, add it to the draw deck, and then take wounds. And if you have no cards left in draw nor discard, then you have been eliminated and you lose the game. So let's talk about the flow of play. The first person is going to take 1 action on the turn, and then starting with the second player's first turn and going back and forth, you're going to take 2 actions each. Players typically are going to sit across from each other, head-to-head like this, but I have only 1 player board set up, so we can focus in and read it. Now, I, as the barbarian here, am going to be able to take an action. There are 3 possible actions I can do. I can try to level up my character here on the side. I can play cards down to these different abilities on the bottom, or I can discard a card from hand to activate its item effect. So let's talk about each of these areas. Starting first with leveling up your character, if you want to get new passive or active abilities, depending on your character, you will have to spend an action to add cards to the side here. You can add cards of whatever value. You can level all the way up at once, or you can do it little by little over the course of play. But once you add cards out here that add up to 25, with jacks being 11, queens 12, and kings 13, aces are 1. Once you discard 25 strength worth of cards out here, you'll then flip all the cards over, and then you have access to this new ability. Or you can take cards from your hand and play them into one of the action abilities down here at the bottom. So, for example, with the Barbarian's Axe Throw, if I were to play 3 cards of the same suit into this column, I could choose to activate this at its 3 strength. I could deal 3 damage to my opponent. Or I could leave this here in hopes that in the future, as I have more spades, I could add to it on a later action and take it at a much higher ability. If I wanted to instead add to this one over here, I have to discard or play out cards that are the same rank. I have to add cards that are a run, so 3, 4, 5, 6. When you add cards to a run, you can add it to either side. Or you can create a full house. And remember, you don't have to play out all the cards at once. So if I wanted to play out these 2 right now, and then maybe add out this one, and then wait until I get 2 more 4s, then I can activate the full house ability here. Lastly, to discard a card for its item effect, you simply put it into your discard area and do whatever it says. Force your opponent to discard cards. If you spend a spade, it allows you to take a card face down and place it into an ability area. The hearts are going to heal a wound, and then the diamonds, if you spend them, you're allowed to discard as many cards as you want and draw back up to 5. However, that will take 1 of your actions for a turn. When you fire off these abilities, you can only fire them off, by the way, when you add cards to them, so you can't choose to wait until later. But if I were to do this one now, I would look at the number of cards I have of that that meet that requirement. It says I will deal 7 damage, discard all cards in one of my opponent's abilities, so I would resolve that. And then they would have to take 7 damage. These cards would be discarded. Now, depending on which character you're playing, they have different ways of defending, revealing cards from hand or building up a pool of different resources that'll allow you to defend, depending on just whatever your character type is. So you defend as much damage as you can, and whatever damage goes through, you take in the form of wounds, and you flip over that number of cards. So if I took 5 damage, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you take 2 actions, you draw back up until you have 5 cards in hand, play passes to the other player, and you just keep going back and forth until one person is completely knocked out, and they're the winner of 52 duels. To play the game solo, you're going to take a sheet for the opposing player and flip it to its nemesis side. This is the automaton version here. Deal it a deck of cards and a hand of 5. That'll go right here. If on your turn you attack and deal damage to it, you'll reveal its hand and resolve its defense abilities. So for example, for the rogue, it's going to discard all clubs and spades over here and block 2 damage for each one. You can see what its hand is now, so you can just set it to the side. When you're done with your turn, they will go, and they're going to take all of the face cards that are in its hand and add it to this area here. This is how they will level up. Once they hit 2 face cards added, then it reached level 1, 3 over here, and 4 there. Then you'll take the remaining cards and place them into the correct pile over here. And once they hit this amount, at least one of the threshold values, they will unleash and do that attack. At the end of their turn, they draw back up to 5 cards in hand. So on my next turn, I don't do any damage to it. So at the start of the automaton's turn, we'll reveal, add this out here, so it will now be at level 1, and then you will take all of the matching cards and add them to the correct areas. If we had reached one of these thresholds, they would attack back, take their action, so on and so forth. You win by knocking them out, you lose by being knocked out, and that's the solo mode.
I think one of the cool things is that I like print and play games where when you print out the sheets, you're done. You don't have to print out continual
Agreed.
ones.
Yes.
And there's tons of good roll and writes and stuff like that where the sheets are destructive. But
Yep.
part of the joy of print and play is the fact that it's kind of done on the cheap,
Right.
but it starts adding up. And I know that people will play like on their iPad if they have to scribble on stuff like that, right?
That's cheating.
That's cheating, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pay full price.
Exactly.
But I love, you print out these characters, you print out the rules, and that's it. You just keep playing with the decks of cards is all.
Yeah, because you just grab a deck of cards, which is honestly the biggest barrier to print and plays. So this eliminates that and just play the deck of cards.
Yeah, you don't have to have like specific dice or anything like that.
Right.
Your health tracker is the deck of cards
Yep.
itself, so you don't have extra pieces that you're futzing about with.
It's very visual.
Yeah, very visual, very kind of easy to tell.
Yeah.
I like really a lot what Postmark Games does. This game is pretty fun, I think.
It is. I agree.
As a little dueling card game, it's all about having the different characters and the variations between them. Overall, what do you think about the approach that this takes of making a card battling dueling game?
I think it works really well. I like 52 Realms a lot. I think it's a great dungeon crawl with cards. This brings that to a dueling game. I think obviously there's going to be some luck involved when, a deck of playing cards is there. But there's some great mitigation, and I think a lot of the characters play very differently, but similarly enough where they're not overcomplicated. You don't have to relearn a new game with every character. So I like this. And again, it plays fairly short.
I like that point, yeah. The items. You can always discard any card from your hand as one of the 4 item effects based on the suit. That feels like a nice, clever way of taking advantage of the different suits.
Yep.
There are ways where you take advantage of the ranks. You can build a full house. Every character has those same elements to it. But one of the characters, it might be one that there's 6 characters available if you support this on the Postmark website. And I think 1 or 2 of them has like one different item. And I think that's a nice way to make that character feel a bit more unique.
I agree.
What do you think about the leveling up? You have to discard high-value cards on the side, and you can kind of get them ranked from 1 to 3.
I've done it a couple times. I never find it worth it because you do kind of use those cards. Those cards are gone. Some characters, it varies by character whether or not it's worth it. You play with the one that leveling up is the only way you can win. the merchant or something.
I think so, yeah.
But other ones, like some is like, oh, you get to heal one each turn. I'm like, that's not really worth it. I'd rather use them towards my abilities. But that also feeds in the fact that there are different avenues with every character, which I think is the strength here.
The priestess is one of those characters where it's like, oh, she specializes in healing. And a lot of these types of games, I do not really care for healing. I want to try to max damage as quick as I can. Holy smokes, that is a really strong character, though.
To be able to heal? Yes.
To be able to heal, and also, as you take advantage of her abilities, where she can heal and also does damage based on what card she heals.
Which is insane. And then you gotta time that right. You gotta wait till you have something right there on the top of the deck that, you can really hammer hard. Because there's like times you do 30-something damage, you're like, yeah, buddy.
Which is what the barbarian, one of the beefy, beefcake character in the game, like a big swing with him is like 15. You're like, yeah. And the priestess is like, I'm going to heal a little bit. Also, you're done.
Let's be honest. That's what mages do. Barbarians are up there just hacking and slashing. They're doing like 10, 50 each. Then it's like, you know what? Earthquake. It's like
Fireball.
Game over. Yeah, so it's good. I think it's very thematic in that sense. I will say one thing. The abilities, at first you feel like, oh man, I'm going for a straight here and I can't get it. You have ways out of that.
Absolutely.
That is massive. Otherwise, that would be just game breaking. I can't. I need a 6 to even do anything here. But you can get out of that.
A lot of them have abilities that allow you to tuck cards and stuff places, or you can always spend a spade to flip a card face down. I agree, right? Because otherwise, I just can't complete this full house. I'll just never draw the right card. Oh, that the last 3 I'm looking for is in my wounds pile.
Right.
I'll never see that 3 again. This game seems broken. Oh, wait, here's actually a very easy fix to that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Now, I think in speaking of the strength of the variety of the characters and everything, that is also, for me, one of the downsides where I think I definitely have my preferences as to what characters to play.
Yes.
I also have my preferences as what characters to not play against, unfortunately.
I agree. There was one who, I think it's the merchant again, right?
Yeah, the merchant.
One of my least favorite. It's fun when you're playing it, the free action. You get to play as item the free action. If you get up to a certain level, free action. It's good for you, but the other person just like, all right, go ahead. And then you're taking so long on your turn, and then it's your turn. You're like, okay, boom, boom, boom.
But back to you for a while.
Back to you for a while. And you know what? They're doing it because that's what the character allows you to do. But that's my least favorite to play against because it's like when you're all paying with a credit card, then one guy has a check. It's exactly what it feels like. It slows it to a crawl.
I agree. And playing against that priestess when you're sitting there like, okay, I'm picking off, doing good damage. And all of a sudden, her top 2 cards are like an 8 and a 10. You're like, oh no.
Yes.
She's going to heal those 2 and do 18 damage my way. So they're swingy.
It is.
I think that kind of in the grand scheme of things, they level out and everything.
I agree.
But
because the first one we were playing, the priestess was just hitting so hard, and we're like, I don't think she's beatable.
Right.
And then you beat her with the with one of them. So it's like it does even out, I think.
Yeah, but I think that there are going to be those moments where it feels like, oof, I'm not sure about this.
Which is good.
Yeah. I will speak really quickly to the solo mode. I think that is really admirable how quick and easy it is to manage and upkeep. And this is a game, because of the low price of entry, $5, some printer paper, or even just playing on a tablet screen or a laptop screen.
Don't do that.
And decks of cards.
Print it out.
You should print it. It feels nice. It does. I think that it's a very fun solo mode, and it might just be my preferred way to play because of what you're talking about, where if the other person has kind of this turn that keeps going, and you're like, I'm here too.
Right.
You don't have that with the solo mode. And so I think that both ways are very viable. And so if you're looking for something that's just a quick solo P&P game, then I think this is also a very good option.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other last thoughts before we go to scores here?
No, I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect combination with 52 Realms. And if you have not played that, definitely check that out too. That video's on our channel. But I think both of these are very clever use of a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually coming in at 7.5 on this. I do enjoy this a lot. This is a great dueling game, and you do it with a deck of cards. But the best part about it is a lot of systems use decks of cards. This one feels so unique. You're using a deck of cards just as components. So I think that's where this really shines, and it has 6, and who knows, it might come out with more, but I think this is definitely one to check out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. 7.5 rating as well. Like I said, there are those swingy kind of moments, but as you play it a little bit more, you realize, oh, okay, well, this character didn't seem as good.
Right.
Oh, this one I have to really focus on leveling up quick.
Yep.
Or this one I have to kind of lean into this. And you start to figure that out. I think that it's very fun. It's very clean. I love the look of this. The graphics, the illustration is done by Rory Muldoon. And a huge shout out for making this very classy but fun kind of feeling environment, great design. And I also think that it's fun because I have a lot of decks of cards at home, different themes, different settings. And it's just fun having another game that I can be like, okay, my Avengers deck is going to play against my bourbon distillery deck. My
greatest movie ever.
Right. Yeah. Very Drunk Avengers 3. Honey, I distilled the babies again. All right, so there you go. That's our thoughts on 52 Duels.
Yep.
If you've played this, go ahead and comment below what y'all think of it. And if you haven't checked it out, then go to Postmark Games website there. Thanks, everyone. My name is Chris Yee.
I'm Joy Evans.
And go print out some papers.
Yes.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.
I didn't hear no bell. It's from Rocky.
It's also from South Park. This chair is so high. It feels so high.
High above me. You seem very distant. How you going?
Crushing it.
Dishes are done, man. I combined two movies.
Aliens and Mom, I Killed the Babysitter. What is that called? Honey,
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's
Honey,
dead.
Honey, I Exploded the Babysitter.
Oh, and Scream.
Scream. Yeah, that's right. I forgot there were dishes in Scream.
You know what? No.
I don't know that
Game
one.
over, man. Game over.
Well, I got that one. I got the aliens part. What's the part from Scream?
Wait.
Dishes done.
Is that from Scream?
I
Game
don't-
over, man.
That's
from-
aliens.
That's Aliens?
What do you think it's from?
I thought it was from Scream.
You know, Scream's a parody, right?
Wow.
Wait,
So it's also from Scream.
have you seen Aliens?
I have. I don't remember that part.
It's the part where he goes. Well, it's
does
the
he
part where
say?
he says the line. Yeah.
Is it Bill Paxton that says it?
Yeah, it is.
We were both right. That's what I got in that conversation.
What's going on in this microphone situation? We've
know.
crossed the streams here.
It doesn't
What
make
movie
any
is that
sense.
from? Also Aliens.
And Scream.